Luis, this will be the first time in league play that Bradley's going to be suspended because of the playoffs back in 2014. He got yellow card accumulated his second leg in New England. How tough is it going to be next week not to have Bradley out as a member of the starting 11?
Well, obviously, Brad's a big part of what we do here. With that being said, we have a lot of confidence in our guys. Whoever steps in, they understand what their job is, and we'll be supporting them all together. But it's just so frustrating when you watch the game and the other team the whole time is talking to the ref, complaining. And I mean, remember, Brad has an accent, so every time he yells, it sounds like he's cussing. He's not cussing. He's just saying, "What's up? Cheerio." And it's unbelievable to me. One time he's getting fouled, and he's being fouled the entire game, and he turns around and says something and gets a yellow. And you look around the league, and it's so frustrating because I just feel like here's a guy, an honest player. He's great for the league. What he's doing is unbelievable. He's about to be the only player to score 3 seasons of 20 goals, and he just doesn't get the same breaks and leeway as a bunch of other players. And the most frustrating thing is I'm watching the game, and even towards the end where Victor Vasquez, he megs our guy, and he has no chance of getting the ball. And then right away he blows the whistle. And I just go to Kevin and say, hey, you're doing a really bad job. And I try to be frank. I'm not trying to be rude. You're doing a bad job. And I think there's going to be carryover frustration because of what happened with Brad. And it's unbelievable. I mean, we got a big game next week. I know the guys are going to be up for it, but it shouldn't be a talking point. There shouldn't be a storyline, and yet it's going to be because of a decision that this guy made because he was a little hurt over a reaction that one of our guys said and something that really was a foul. And all game, you see, they're all over his back, all over his back, all over his back. He doesn't get a call, doesn't get a call. So, of course, he's going to be frustrated. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's just really poor for him, and we have this marquee matchup against Atlanta, which is going to dictate the Shield. And would we like to have Brad out there? Of course. But with that being said, I have a lot of belief in our guys, and we're not going to let this phase us. We're going to have a great training week, and we're going to be ready for the next game.
Outside of that,
there we go. Tim Parker at forward. But if Tim says something, then right away it's going to be a card. So whatever. I mean, I know that it's also this idea that we complain. Whatever. I mean, are you kidding me? Watch the play. Watch the play. He's being fouled. He's holding his arm. So he says something that's obvious that wasn't obvious to the ref, and he gets a yellow for it. It's criminal. It's too bad.
outside of that, though, overall, what did you think about the performance tonight from you and the guys?
It was okay. The first half was just okay. And yet, what was really encouraging is we didn't give up much. When we scored the goal, you could see we stepped it up into another gear. And we really looked like us towards the end. The last 30 minutes, we looked like us. So that's encouraging because we need that momentum going into the next game. In the last two games, you can't say that those performances were what we expect each and every week. So it's a nice step in the right direction.
How big was Derek's goal towards second half, stoppage time?
I think it continues to show his growth as a player because he's been in that situation a few other times where he didn't finish it. And instead of being discouraged, you see him on the training field. He continues to work at his craft. He's been persistent in the way that he goes about his business, and it showed today. So for him to get that goal obviously took a lot of pressure off of us so late in the game. But I think more than anything, it just continues to show what he's capable of, and the fact that even as a young player, he doesn't get discouraged. He keeps working, and it's because of that work that he puts on the training field. He rewards himself today.
How were you guys? It seemed like the referee performance seemed to affect you in some way. How were you guys able to turn the page on that in the second half?
I don't really feel like the refereeing performance affected us. There's going to be calls we misses, and
just like
and of course the way that I have to handle myself is being diplomatic and trying to get those calls. Whether or not we get those calls is out of my control, but it's just really frustrating when this guy goes off and makes a decision like that to affect the next week for something that in my mind is petty. So it is what it is.
What do you think the substitutions did to change the game?
They were great. The subs are great. They really were. Everyone that stepped on the field, Fidel, Alex, Derek, the hustle, the work, I think they're part of the reason why we were able to get that goal. I mean, Derek created it, the deflection, and Kaku staying with the play. So the subs are great.
Is there anything with Derek that you could point to? You mentioned his growth. he's obviously potentially going to be called on next week to play a big part. What is maybe something you've seen over the course of the season that kind of shows his progression? Has there been sort of signs that you've seen maybe in training, things that he's done, just a maturity that you've sort of been able to notice over the last year?
He puts himself in great spots, which of course is part of it, but what I've seen in training is after training, he gets a sack of balls and he goes over and takes shots and takes shots. And he knows that he has a lot of potential, but it's not just going to show up one day. He's got to put the work in. And I've seen that last year, I've seen it this year, and it's great to see what he's doing. But I mean, with that being said, he has to be consistent. And with any young player, sometimes that's the most difficult part. And I have a lot of belief in him. I know this locker has a lot of belief in him. And if he's the guy that's called on for next week, we feel like he's going to make a difference, and he'll continue to show to the league and everyone else that work that I talked about, that he continues to put in week in, week out.
And the Tackle Kids Cancer event that surrounded the game, I know it's something that's really close to you. And just what was it like to see the team embrace it in the way that it did?
Of course, I've been sort of the face for Tackle Kids Cancer in our partnership the last couple of years, but it's not just Tackle Kids Cancer, it's this organization. This idea that we don't just want to be a team in a stadium and have people come watch us play. We want to be a part of the community. We want to make a difference. And I just think as professional athletes, we have such an incredible platform because people are willing to invite us into their life and just spend a few moments with them, and you never know what sort of positive impact you can have on a person's life. And yet, from what I hear with the guys when we go to the hospital or when we're involved in Special Olympics or a number of great causes that this organization has invested in, they go thinking that they're the ones that are putting a smile on everyone's face, and yet it's the experience that changes them, and they understand the responsibility that comes with having the opportunity to be a professional athlete. And of course, as kids, we dream of scoring the big goal or making the big save and making the big bucks and all the stuff that comes with it. And yet I hope as we grow and mature as adults, we can see that one of the biggest opportunities we have is to make an impact on our community, to make it a better place. And that's something that I continue to remind myself that no matter what I do or where I go, I want it to be so that when I leave, it's better off than when I found it. And if everyone has that sort of mentality, then who knows what sort of impact we can have on a community.
Thanks, Luis.
No problem, guys. Appreciate it.